Hello there guys, Aaron Chana here for Forever Football DRFC, your Doncaster Rovers fan channel, and preview day again. We're back on the Tuesday games. This is the one against Fleetwood at the Highbury Stadium. It's our away game, and I mean, come on, this is, in my opinion, this is a winnable game, and I think Fleetwood will come out and say this is a tough game, which will make them be up for this one, and we're going to have to be on top of this one to make sure we do look like we want to get the 3 points. Now, obviously you can see behind me the team lineup that I've gone with, so I'm going to go through that straight away with you. But before we do, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, click the notification bell so you never miss another video, and stay tuned for the review after the match. It is a nighttime kickoff, so it will be after the match straight away. I've already got the match pass for it. Cannot wait for the match. But let's go through this team straight away then. So as you can see, Richards is on the bench, John is on the bench, Simio's is in, and so is Bostock. So let's go through this team and why I've gone with this team. So Balcom in goal, no surprises there. Finally, for the first time in months, I've gone with a back four in their usual positions because of the depth we have now. So Halliday at right back, Anderson at centre back as the captain, of course, Butler at centre back as well, and Reece James back at left back. So I've gone with a proper back four, proper left back, proper right back, proper centre back pairing. So proper back four in my opinion. In the midfield, Matt Smith and John Bostock with his first start. He came on for the last few minutes of that game, brought some physicality to that team, and overall did a wonderful job. I've put Gomez in the cam position. I'll explain why Richard's on the bench in a minute. Simio's on the left wing, Taylor on the right wing, which means Cameron John drops to the bench, and Fajiri Okunabiri up front. And on the bench with John and Richards, it's Jones, Wright, Greaves, Robertson, and Lokilo. So no Omar Bogle again. And that's why, there's three things really I need to explain why I've dropped John, why I've dropped Richards, and also why Bogle isn't on the bench. And the reason why Bogle's not on the bench, first of all, is because I think he won't be risked. I think maybe Greaves drops out the bench for Bogle if he is going to be at least on the bench, but I reckon Bogle will miss this game and will be involved at least on the bench, maybe even start against Sunderland on Saturday next week. So that's why Bogle's not involved in the squad. The reason why I've dropped Richards is because even though he had to come off, there was a bit of like a contact injury on his thigh. When he was walking, he was all right. But I don't want Darren Moore to take that risk with him and make it worse. So I think, depending what happens over this next 24 hours on how he operates, I think he'll be at least on the bench. And I'm looking at probably him coming on for the last 30 minutes to bring that extra physicality. Especially if we're 2-3-0 up already. We need someone physical to keep out Fleetwood and maybe get one more goal, maybe get a third or a fourth goal, depending if we're 2-3-0 up. And Richards can do that. So I think Richards is still an impact sub as well as an impact starting player. So, Rich can do a job when he comes on or if he comes off the bench, so at any time. So, I've got no problems if he starts or he's on the bench. I think if Richard starts, Gomez or Bostock will be on the bench. If he doesn't start, then Gomez will be at cam and Bostock will be in the midfield with Smith. The reason why Cameron John's on the bench is because, yes, he's not a left back. First of all, he's not a left back, but I know he's been transitioned into a left back, and I know people have said, why have we got a concern with John at left back? We brought him in as a centre back, first of all, so I just don't see him as a left back. But if they are trying to transition him into there, yes, he does well going forward, but in some games he gets caught up the pitch, and he needs to learn not to do that. So, I mean, if he does start, then we could be seeing James slip into that centre midfield role if Bostock isn't starting, or Gomez isn't starting, or Simio's is back on the bench. I could see James slip into that midfield again, which is no problem. But if John's at left back, then we have to be, aware of how he performs. Obviously, the starters from the previous game, Balcom, no problem with that. Centre-backs, no problem with that. Halliday, no problem with that. Taylor got his goal, no problem with that. Fajiri Okunabiri, apart from Omar Bogle and John Jules when he comes back from injury in March, he's the only striker in the squad, so obviously, there was no option with Okunabiri. But I think that maybe in terms of substitutes for this match, I'm predicting Richards to come on if he's on the bench. I'm predicting Greaves might get some minutes. I think if Gomez or Bostock Gomez might come off for Greaves, and either Greaves slips in at Cam or Bostock comes into Cam, or Bostock comes off and you bring Greaves in that midfield or swap him with Gomez. So Greaves might come on, Robertson could come on as well instead. Lakilo could make an appearance for Simeos as well, you never know. We'll have to see with that one. So there's a few different substitution options for Darren Moore if we go with this particular team. But Fleetwood's going to be a tough game, I'm not going to lie. Fleetwood will be a tough one. Yes, they drew 0-0 with Bristol Rovers, but in my personal opinion, Fleetwood could have got something out of the Bristol Rovers game if they were clinical with the chance they had. And Bristol Rovers could have got a couple of chances. So look at the highlights from the Quest programme last night. I think Fleetwood and Bristol Rovers could have snuck to 1-0 win out of that game. So we need to be careful of Fleetwood because they can strike at any time, especially with their new manager Simon Grayson. It's going to be a tough one because we are expecting to see Fleetwood maybe start bouncing back on the win run. Obviously they're on this winless run at the minute, but I think that Fleetwood might want to start going on that win run. So we have to be careful we're not the first team to start this win run for Fleetwood, because it could come from anywhere. It could come from absolutely nowhere. RKO out of nowhere kind of thing. So finally then, what is my predicted scoreline for this? Like I said, Fleetwood could be a tough opposition, but if we cut them off and do it right, I think we've got a chance of winning this game. So, on the balance of form and the balance of play, I'm going to go with a 2-0 win. I think that Fleetwood may just not be enough for Doncaster Rovers on Tuesday. So, very exciting game. Hopefully we do get the victory at Highbury. And, overall, fingers crossed, we are looking for the victory. And, 3 points is what we need. 3 points is what's important in the game of football. 3 points is exactly what's required from this team. So, we need to get 3 points from somewhere, and we need to keep up this winning run and keep our run going, especially with Hull losing last night and Lincoln winning. Of course, Hull's got Lincoln next, so hoping for a draw so we can get that little bit further top of the league, and fingers crossed we will get the 3 points from that one. Obviously, this is our first fixture, I believe, with Fleetwood, so we'll still have the reverse fixture to go, I believe, so very exciting stuff there. But for now, guys, thank you very, very much for watching the match preview for Fleetwood. Stay tuned a couple of hours after the match for the match review. And for now, my name is Aaron Chandler from Forever Football DRSC, your Doncaster Rovers fan channel. Keep living the Doncaster life, and that, my friends, is full time. Come on, Rovers, let's get 3 points. Come on.